Hi, it's Candy. Welcome to the Art of Planning. And what we're going to do today is I am going to show you how I Bible journal. And there is a whole lot of information to pack in today. And I'm still going to have to do several parts of this. But I just wanted to start and give you an idea. So, back when I was still trying to learn how to do stuff, and not necessarily on this platform, but just when I was learning how to do stuff, they always used to teach us to do what, why, when, where, and how. So that's kind of how I took the approach to this. But today we're only going to do two parts of that, and that's going to be the what and the how. And still there's going to be a cram full lot of stuff that I go through, okay? So what I thought that I would do first is show you what I use when I Bible study. And even at that, I want you to know that I am constantly evaluating and trying to figure out what works best for me. One constant that will never change is, no, I'm not even going to say that because it could change. But the Bible that I use and love and have used forever is the New Spirit-Filled Bible. This is, if y'all have followed me, this is the second one that I purchased. The used one was just falling apart, and so I bought another one, okay? The New Spirit-Filled Life. And one of the reasons I love it is because of the helps that it has in it. It has a word wealth. It has New Kingdom Dynamics, like right here. And then at the back of each chapter, it also has truth in action. These are just things that help me understand better, because quite frankly, I don't always understand what I am reading in the Bible. And one thing that helps me also is to pray before I start out reading. Is just pray that God reveal the truth behind His Word. So that always helps so very much. I am studying in Isaiah right now, and I love this Bible. So one of the tools that I use, that's the particular Bible that I am using right now. I will show you this too. This is an oversized cover, just because of the size of my Bible. Check that out always, what Bible you're using and what size of cover, if you're going to use a cover. This has a zipper in it. I always keep Bible highlighters. They're crayons, so they won't bleed through. I keep those in there. I keep a pen or pencil. And I always keep some candy for the boys. I don't know. That just ended up in there. So that's the Bible that I use. The other things, I'm referring to notes also because there's so much. These are the pens that I am using for my at-home Bible study. Now, I'm probably going to change these because in the last video, you guys gave me so many great things to choose from. Want to make sure you can see. But right now, I use these. They are the Triplus Fine Liner. They come in lots of different colors, and I usually use 2 pens when I'm Bible journaling. You'll see that in a minute. These are sparkly headbands, just from the girls' headband section, and they work great for a lot of different things. So the Stadler Triplus Fine Liner, 20 brilliant colors. Now, based upon the feedback that I got in the last video, I think I will go to those the erasable pens. Read the comments in the last video because I can't remember exactly what they're called, but they are erasable pens. I think that sounds like a fine idea. So I always use colored pens when I do my Bible study also. Now, this is what I use also as far as my binder. I use a Chic Sparrow binder. Here's one. I got the turquoise one first. I have several of these guys in several different sizes. My preference now that I've tried several is a B6. And I do have them in several sizes, but I do love the B6. This is from Chic Sparrow. This particular one is called a Huckleberry Cascade. I am going to leave a link in the box down below. I'll leave a link to the Chic Sparrow site. But this is the binder that I use on here it's got an elastic band, it has a pen holder. I put the color of the pen, whatever I'm doing for that month, my pen holder goes in there also, okay? So that's another tool that I use whenever I'm doing my Bible study. And then it has the elastics in it. And if you need more than the elastics that are in here, you can add elastics. There are all sorts of videos on YouTube to learn how to add elastics in it. Now, you will see that I have several months worth of journaling in here. I'll explain that to you also. This is, I don't know, I was going to measure. I was going to have a little measuring stick right here and I didn't. The B6 size is, I don't know all these sizes like a lot of you do. It's like 4.5, no, it's 4 1/4 by 7. 4 1/4 by 7, that's the B6. So, I ordered my Chic Sparrow in a B6, and then my preference, again, I go to an Etsy shop and it's called PaperPenguinCo. And I order these journals all done already. You can get them dotted. You can get them lined. Of course, you could make them. I don't want to spend the time that I have making a journal for in here. I love to make journals. I love to do different kind of journals. I don't want to make my Bible journals. I want to spend my Bible time doing my Bible reading and doing scripture and doing those different things. I don't want to spend that time making my Bible journals. So I order my Bible journals from PaperPenguinCo. I'll do that link in the description bar also. And again, if you're not sure of sizes, probably my recommendation would be try out some different paper-sized journals first before you invest in a binder. See what size you like. I have done that too. And what I have decided is there is a size that I like. I have all sorts of paper journals. And this is the size that I found that I like. So, just a suggestion to you. Okay. Now, here's another tool that I use. I like to kind of do some stuff in my journal too. I just like to do a little. I don't want to do a lot, but I do like to do a little. So, here's what I usually do. Here is my journal from last month, but it's also my Sunday service journal. Now see, these are those sticky notes. We've talked about those sticky notes. I need to transfer this to this. I just didn't have this handy when it was time for the sermon, so I wrote it down on this. And I did that someplace else too, and I have yet to transfer it, which is crazy. So, on my journals, what I do is I go in and do just a little bit of background work on them. And I usually use a stencil or stamps. I don't want to spend a lot of time doing that either. So I do something that can be quick, but that can visually add some interest to it. Can you write in it plain? Absolutely. You might prefer that. But I like a little bit of visual interest to the back of it, okay? So again, this actually is September's journal / my church journal. And what I was doing was, I was doing church services in this, and then I was taking my Bible study from that. And I'm still sort of doing that, but as I evaluate and adjust, what I've decided that I want to do is I want to do one church journal, and then I want to do a Bible study journal. So that's what I will be doing from now on. That's what this is. This is my Bible study journal. And it actually evolved from the fact that I was doing the 2-in-1, the church and the journal together. And I think last Sunday was the Sunday that, yep, I finished it. I finished this one off. Oh, I thought maybe there was an extra page. I'm going to have to whip together another one of these for Sunday. which is not very far from now. So I can have that for my church journal. This is, I started Monday, and this is just strictly my Bible study journal. So what I did was I used some stamps. This is a note stamp. Which is right here. It's on a few pages in here. It's right there. It's right there on a tag. It's right there. So what I do is I take a stamp and I load it with some ink and I go through the journal and I use this stamp with that color on several pages throughout the journal. And then when I've got that done in this color, then I'll clean it up, I'll load it with another color, and I'll do it on a couple of different pages in the journal. I normally just use 2 different colors so it doesn't get really, really, really crazy, and just do it on a couple of different pages. There it was in brown. Well, there it is in that marigold color, okay? I used another stamp. I used this stamp. I loaded it up with ink. Sometimes I would just use part of it here. Sometimes I would just use part of it there. I didn't go crazy with that either. Sometimes I used it on a corner, but I loaded this with ink. I went through the journal on different pages, stamped a little bit here, a little bit there, so I could have some visual interest someplace on some pages, just as a background. A little bit there, a little bit there. Now, if you think that's too much, you certainly don't have to do any decorating at all. I have this music paper, and I would use a little bit of scraps. Here I used it as tabs. I was just adding some interest to it, just because I like to do that. So that just gives you a little bit of an idea. See, when you pick the right colors, and again, right here, I used Tim Holtz Distressed Ink in tea dye and in marigold. So they're really pretty light. I stamped them light. They fade into the background. You can write over them. That's just what I do. That's just how I like to do it. Okay, that being said, then what I also do is I make some tags that coordinate. First of all, I love tags. Secondly, I will use them in the journal to mark my space. I will use them, I keep one here. I usually make 3 or 4, maybe 5 extra tags because I also use them. I shouldn't have zipped that back up. I also use them to mark spaces in the Bible when I'm doing my Bible study. Can you guys see that? Yeah. So, we put one here, and I do it all at the same time. I have some tags cut out. See, this isn't even finished. I need to make that a tag. I need to finish this one up. But I do that all at the same time as whenever I am working on my journal. So, I've got that ready to rock and roll. And that's the tools that I use and how I get my Bible journal set up and ready to go. And I also, when I'm working on a month, I don't bother putting this in and out of my journal every day. What I do is I slip this elastic around it, and then I slip this particular journal, because I use it every day. I slip it on the outside so it's right at my fingertips. And then I put that on top of my Bible, and I'm ready to go whenever I do that. So that's the way I use that. Okay. Wow, we got through that information much more quickly than I thought we would. Yay, yay. Here is, I don't know if I showed you that too. It's just another tag. I don't take long doing those. but I'm ready to go with them. One of the reasons that I decided to incorporate 2 journals was because when I was doing this, I would do, let's flip over here and I'll show you. I would do the sermon notes. Okay, like here. Here is September 6th. The sermon. It says elevation. And whenever everything happened with the coronavirus and we were staying home and couldn't go anyplace, what we watched was on Sunday morning, it starts at 9. They have like praise and worship, a thing. It's called Elevation Church. It's Stephen Furtick. If that sounds familiar to you at all, I did a Bible study on one of his books, and it's in my YouTube videos. So when we were staying at home, we started watching his church services. So what I would do is I would watch the church services. I would take notes on the church services, and they are just pretty incredible. I would recommend that if you were looking for something like that to do. And then I would go right into a Bible study. And sometimes in the Bible studies, I would need to reference different scriptures, different notes, different passages. And I wanted my Bible study to be a standalone so that I could just start having my collection of Bible journals together in a journal. And I could start having the sermons together as Sunday sermons. So, like I told you, it's evaluation and adjust all the time, and don't ever feel bad about doing that. If something's not working for you, or you find that you want a different way that you think will be better, or that will benefit you in a different way, always evaluate and adjust, because that may be God telling you that you will need to grab something down the road and refer to it. So maybe that helped you a little bit. I love the way that this is coming together, and it's working out for me. So I just wanted to share that with you. Now, after sharing that with you, we still have we did what and how. And we still got when, where, and why for another video, if you would like to hear that, because there's still a whole lot of information that I haven't shared. So if you would like another video on how I Bible study, Bible plan, and for it to be when, where, and how, I will be happy to do that, because I think that's important too. Just personal information. It's just about how I do it. I'm sure there are better ways, and I'm sure there's lots of different ways. And as a matter of fact, if you have notes and comments and you would like to share, wow, everybody gets a whole lot of different information from that. So that is the end of this one. Thank you guys always for sharing. And I watched a video with my grandson the other day, and the guy in the video says, "Follow me, follow me, follow me." And I thought that was less than a subtle way of saying it, but I bet he got subscribers from that. So, hey, follow me, follow me, follow me. And thank you for watching this. I will see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.